Hi there, fellow guitar players. This lesson, I'm going to talk about how you should pick out your guitar. There's so many different guitars, and there are different woods they use, and the necks are all different. And I'm going to go through these different things that you should look for. But the very first thing you should do is you can go online and go to guitarcenter.com and look through all the different types of guitars they've got there. But you should definitely go to your local guitar store. If there's a Guitar Center near you, by all means, I would go there because they've got a very big selection of acoustic and electric for you to take a look at. And the thing you should remember is you should pick up as many guitars as you can. First of all, decide whether you want acoustic or electric. If you want acoustic, go and pick up 20, 30 different acoustic guitars. Find out how it fits on your body, how you feel, how the neck feels, what shape it is. Does it feel comfortable? How does it strum? If you don't know how to strum yet, don't worry about it. But it should feel really good because every guitar is different from the other one, from another one. There are all these different woods used. Yes, you probably can see like thousands of different Fender Stratocasters like this, but every piece of wood is its individual piece of wood, and it resonates with its own sound. And the necks are all different as well. Now, the first thing, there are 4 different kinds of necks, neck shapes, like this shape right here. There's the C shape, the V shape, the D shape, and the U shape. Now, the C shape, which is what this one is the most common, right? But you may pick up like an older Gibson guitar, and you might say, wow, this is a really thicker neck, and it's kind of got a V shape to it. And yes, some people really like that. Or you might find another one which is kind of like a little bit more of a D shape, not quite as round. But you should definitely pay attention to how the neck feels. My old Jazzmaster, I thought that neck fit the best for me. It was very, very skinny, right? And so I have a medium-sized hand, right? If I could get around the neck on it very easily, right? Some people, they like a very chunky, they call it chunky neck, thick piece of wood, and they like that a lot. So you should pay attention to the shape of the neck. The next thing you should do is take a look at the fretboards. There's different woods they use on the fretboards. They use ebony, rosewood, and maple. This is maple, the lighter wood. The ebony is a very, very dark wood, and then there's a rosewood, which is kind of in between those two colors. And I like the maple, and I like the rosewood myself. But you should definitely pay attention to that, because as you start playing, you'll see that the neck plays easier or harder for you based on what it's made out of, and how, if there's a lot of heavy lacquer on it, and how it's dressed up, and how the frets are as well. The next kind of thing is the kind of woods that are used for guitars, right? There's alder, there's ash, there's mahogany, and there's maple. And there's probably maple underneath here, right? Because they're using a maple neck. And then they also, what happens is that different kinds of woods has a different resonance to them. Even when they have pickups on them, they will respond to the pickups differently, the sound of the wood. As the wood ages, like my old Jazzmaster from 1959, it had a huge sound, not only because of the pickups that were on it, but this piece of wood was very, very old, and it resonated beautifully. Now, there are different kinds of pickups for electric guitars. There's what they call the single coil, which is what these are. And then they're called the humbuckers, which is a double coil. And the single coil, you can get some kind of a hum going when you're playing, and most guitar players don't like that. So you can change the pickups, let's say on this guitar, and make them humbuckers so that the hum goes away. Now in Gibson, when you buy like a Les Paul, they come with humbucker double coil pickups, so you don't have to worry about that. And they sound a little bit warmer, although a Fender Stratocaster might sound even warmer based on the kind of wood that it is and the kind of electric amplifier it's going through. So you can really change the sound a lot on an electric guitar. Now, on an acoustic guitar, you can also have an acoustic guitar that has a pickup built into it. So you have like an acoustic electric. So you can play the guitar without having an amplifier, or you can plug it in. Usually they have like a down on this side of the guitar body for the acoustic, and then plug it in to an amplifier, and it'll just amplify it. And you can also change the tone a little bit with it too. So you can get either an acoustic, just strictly an acoustic, no amplification, or an acoustic electric. You can use both, or just an electric. Now, the other thing is the different necks have different lengths. Now, the Gibson has a 24 3/4 inch neck. The Fender has a 25.5 inch neck. Now, the other thing is this. Let's say you're starting out, and let's say you're 8, 9 years old, and you want to get a guitar that fits your body a little bit better. You can get what they call a half size or a 3/4 size guitar. Sometimes they're called traveling guitars. Sometimes you want to travel, but you don't want to bring your full-size guitar with you. You can get a traveling guitar, which is usually either 3/4 size or half size. Usually it's 3/4 size. The necks are a little bit shorter, the body's a little bit smaller. And especially for kids that are starting out, they're great to start out on. So that's another thing you can do. But what you should definitely do is don't buy a guitar online unless you have, a lot of faith in that, I'm just going to get this guitar, because I think what you really should do is go to a guitar store and decide after you pick up as many guitars as they'll let you pick up. If there's electric guitars and you want an electric guitar and they let you pick up a bunch and plug them into an amplifier so you can hear what they sound like, that's even better. Guitar Center in Hollywood, California, will let you do that. Let's say you walk in there and you go to the main room and there's all these hundreds of guitars laying on the wall hanging, and you want a Gibson SG, double cutaway, P90. And you see one that you really like the look of it, it's red, and you say to the guy, I'd like to try that one out. And maybe it's a little bit higher than you can reach, so they'll bring it down for you. Plug it into an amplifier and play for a little while. Feel how it feels out. What is it? What kind of sound? How does it feel when you hold it? How does it feel when you strum it? What's it like to hold that neck? And just check it out. And then try some other ones. The same thing goes for acoustic. Now, at Guitar Center, you can go to an acoustic guitar room, just acoustic guitars. And you can go in there and you can look around and all these different prices. Now, you can go and you can pick up 20, 30 acoustic guitars and find one you really like. Years ago, there was a friend of mine, this woman wanted me to help her pick out a guitar. She wanted an acoustic, she thought, first. We went into the acoustic room at Guitar Center, and she started picking up acoustics. She said, oh, I really like this one. I go, well, you picked up one of the best guitars ever made. That's a Taylor, and that particular guitar is about $875, and they go up from there. And she goes, oh, I don't want to pay that much. Well, okay, let's go over here. They have different ones that are a little bit cheaper, like a Yamaha, also a very good brand. You can pick up one for $200, $250. So they vary in price, and they vary in the different kinds of woods that they're used, and they all sound differently. The necks are all different. So arrive at, like, say, if it's acoustic, how much your budget is, and then the guy that's working in there or the woman that's working in there, she can pick out some guitars that are in your range and what you should try. And then you can pick them up and see how they feel. The same thing goes for electric. You can walk into the electric area, electric guitars, and you can buy an electric guitar for anywhere from $200 to $250 up to $25,000, depending on what you're looking at. Now, this particular Stratocaster I bought in Florida about 5 years ago, and I paid about $250 for it. Now I have other guitars. I have a Les Paul, Gibson Les Paul, which I paid somewhere around $550 for it. And I also have another, what they call a Mexican Fender Stratocaster. That just means that it was made in Mexico. And I bought that one for $200, and I've had it for years, and it never goes out of tune. It's amazing, that guitar. I call it my workhorse. And I customized it a little bit. I changed the pick guard on it. It's a black strap, and I put a mirrored pick guard on it, which is fine on stage because if you can shine the light on people out there from your guitar as you're playing, which is a lot of fun. And it customizes it and makes it look like, oh, where did you get that guitar, right? But it's inexpensive, Mexican strap, plays wonderfully, the neck is terrific on it, and it never goes out of tune. It's just one of those guitars, right? So again, pick out a guitar based on how it feels in your hands. Does it fill all the boxes? In other words, does it feel right to you when you're holding it? Is it within your price range? Is it a beginning guitar, something you don't need to spend a lot of money on, and maybe you want to buy a half size or 3/4 size guitar so you can travel with it? Or if you're in the market for a new guitar that's like your second guitar, you want to get something better, again, pick up lots of guitars. Every one of them, even though they may look the same, will sound completely different because of the woods and the neck and all the elements that they work into making that guitar. So I hope that helps you. Let me know your comments on this, and give me a like, subscribe to this channel, and let me know what happens, how you did. Have a great day. See you on the next lesson.